All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 163. What's up, Matt?
How you doing?
Ready to riff?
You're leading me. Lead me into the future.
I love it. Matt Moscardi in the house. How you doing?
I'm lovely.
Co-founder of Free Float.
Yeah, it's Free Float Analytics, Free Float Media. We have subsidiaries.
Nice.
That makes me feel important. Subsidiaries are just us, but still.
It's a big word. I only teach third grade. We got co-host, Business Pants.
Yeah.
Podcast host.
So this is not unfamiliar, although your shit's fancy. Like, I feel like I'm in a real thing right now.
We could see you and hear you today.
I know. Shocking.
Where's Damion at?
Damion's in Portland, Maine. He's my other co-host. He's in Portland, Maine. I think he's probably getting his tonsils removed. I don't know what he's doing.
The guy's got a great sense of humor, that guy. I like it.
He's a dry dude. Yeah.
All right. So it's Feeney Talks with Friends. My name is Eric Feeney, founder and president of Friends of Feeney. It's a nonprofit. We help children and families that need assistance after a heartbreak or tragedy. I use this podcast, Feeney Talks with Friends, and I talk to wonderful people in the community that are doing great things.
You got the wrong person there.
And you're all right. You're all right. You're in the community, at least.
I am. I'm not
Maybe
one. I've hit 50% on that.
Wonderful person, and we're about to find out. So I'm really excited. We've been talking for a while to get you on, but you're a busy man.
3 kids and my startup. There's a lot happening all the time.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about first?
Hey, man, I'll talk about anything you want. You want to talk about where we're at Luna Pizza right now.
There you go.
Talk about pizza. I can talk pizza. We can talk about what I do. The Red Sox. I don't know.
What's your favorite pizza?
So, I'm a cheddar pizza man.
Oh.
Because cheddar is naturally lactose free, and I can eat it. So I make it at home.
Cheddar pizza. I
Yeah,
like
man.
it. I wonder if they'll make that here.
It
Should have told me. We would have had a cheddar pizza.
No one carries it. I've asked every establishment.
Alex, I promise you, next time you come, Alex will have cheddar pizza for you. Alex is a good friend. Episode 70, I did a Barstool pizza review at the beginning. I cooked
Ooh.
pizza at the end. Go back and check it out. Alex, thoughtful, hosts our toy drive, always donating. Great guy. Oh, while we're on it, let's thank some other sponsors. We're Direct Line Media. Thank you, Stefania and Dave. Without them, this would not be possible. We got Float 41, The Fix IV, Parkville Management, People's Bank, Sally and Bob's, Keating Agency Insurance, Brook Golf Law Group. And we got a new one, the JCC, the Mandel JCC. You ever been over there?
I have. Yeah, it's lovely there.
Yeah. I swam a mile this morning. Feeling great.
I have seen a person swim a mile, so
Yeah.
I feel like we're the same.
Oh, I have a week pass for you. I don't have it on me.
At
One
the
week
JCC?
1 week free pass. It's over here somewhere. If not, I'll get it to you. I want to thank the JCC for being sponsors. Great friends over there. I just had Colonel. There was a Colonel, Mike Cabry. He does kettlebells. You ever do a kettlebell workout?
Yeah. I don't like those.
Yeah, sore for you sleep great that night.
Yeah, that night.
So the JCC is great. You'll see their logo on our podcast page. They're brand new sponsors. Thank you so much for sponsoring. I got a week pass for you.
Nice.
Sally and Bob's. What about Sally and Bob's? You ever been over there?
Been there once. I've only been here for 6 years, and I still have not sampled the fullness of the West Hartford culinary experience.
Well, here you go. I'd like to give you a gift card to Sally and Bob's.
Oh,
being a good friend, enjoying
Louise.
us. Thank you,
Wow.
Helen.
You have me on the podcast more often.
Yeah. I was there this morning. I'll show you my two pictures. We're going to do, boom, there's my lunch crew. I was with my crew. There you can see Dave, Billy, and Scott right here. And then my man Caesar. Boom, the chef. Caesar's a great guy. Check it out. Get the, you like eggs bennies? Hash browns?
Hash browns all day.
All day. They
Potatoes are my weakness.
Yes.
My actual weakness.
Got to carb up.
Yeah. I don't need to carb up, let's be clear, but I will.
All right, so let's get right into it. I teach third grade. Pretend you're speaking to a third grader.
Okay.
Explain what ESG is
Oh, my God.
to a third grader.
Okay, so there's probably what you've heard about ESG.
Yep.
And then there's what it is. E and S and G stands for environmental, social, and governance. And it's data. It's just information. Environmental information, social information, governance information. That gets used in finance, stock picking, valuation, how much is that asset worth, whatever. So very, very simply, it's just information about the environment and how it can affect things in finance.
Okay. All right. So when someone goes to invest in, say, Nike or a stock, they check their ESG rating, or how's that
So
work?
there's ratings, and those are kind of a different thing. So think of it this way. If you were to invest, well, a lot of older people invest in utilities, like energy utilities. They do that because energy utilities are tax efficient and they throw off a lot of cash. So if you're going to retire, you don't want to sell, but you want the cash. So you buy things like utilities or bonds. But say you're going to buy a utility, and say that utility has all of its power plants on the coast of North Carolina, which Duke Energy has a bunch. ESG is the information that you get from using ESG data, is how many of those power plants will be underwater in the lifespan of that power plant because of climate change or sea level rise, if you don't believe in climate change, because people can agree that sea level's rising, right? You can do the same thing with anything. If people in this country don't have access to healthcare, how does that affect, a healthcare stock or some stock you never thought of? Like, if I don't have access to healthcare, am I going to be ordering Uber Eats very much because I'm spending all my money on healthcare? And does Uber pay There's a lot of ways you can look at it. It's just information. What it is information that Wall Street, the stock market, for as long as it's existed, pretty much ignored, except on the margins. And then it got mainstreamed during COVID. So everyone was talking about it and how important it was. And then the recent administration has basically banned it and said, we don't want you to see that information anymore, because they associated it with being woke or being liberal or something like that. So it's just information. That's really all it is.
How does Free Float use ESG?
So we came from ESG. Both Damion, my partner, and I built various pieces of ESG models for large financial companies. MSCI is where we both worked. But now what we do is we're sort of a fringe inside a fringe. The thing that we do when you invest in anything, most people look at the stock or the bond or whatever it is, and they say, how much is this worth? I want it to go up. We say, who is running this? So we don't look at an asset and say, you're buying the asset. We look at it and say, you're buying a collection of people. You're buying their output. So in a very simple way, we're saying, how good is management? How much do we trust them? Who are they? Have they performed in the past? We treat boards of directors and CEOs, we treat them like sports teams. Because you know everything. Who's your favorite team?
Yankees, Knicks.
Oh my God, the worst.
Should we stop the podcast right now?
I might have to leave. But you know everything about the Yankees.
Yep.
Or when you were growing up, you did.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you
Okay,
paid
I like
attention
this
a lot.
analogy.
Like,
Yep.
all right, so you know everything. You know, like Derek Jeter's shoe size. You know which way he bats. You know every position he's ever played. You know, like is he better in July than he is in October? He's not, but you know if he is, right? But what?
Well, he's Mr. November. Let's correct you. Okay.
Reggie Jackson's Mr. October. That one was already taken. But I assume you go to Target, right? And you buy, I don't know, bananas or toilet paper at Target or whatever you buy.
Yep.
Can you name one executive at Target?
Ooh, good.
Can you name one board member at Target? Do you know?
Can I spin that on you? Can you name?
Yeah, Brian Cornell, who's the executive chair of Target, was the CEO. He actually just fake stepped down and replaced himself with Michael Fidelki. This is what we do all day. I can also tell you that at Target, there are 2 board members, not 1, but 2. So we all know about diversity, DEI, it gets talked about a lot. There are not 1, but 2 board members on Target who are on boards of other companies who reversed their diversity policies when Trump came into the office.
Oh, is that why some people are banning Target and not shopping there now?
That's exactly right, because Target basically backtracked on all of their diversity targets, and they were a little late to the game. They did it largely because of, internet trolls' outrage about
bathing
Pride,
suits or something.
Pride merch.
Yeah.
But so one of the questions that we try to answer at Free Flow, which is in ESG, mostly because it's information people don't have or don't think about, but is not technically, it's not the same thing people think of when they think of ESG. We're the G, the governance part, who governs. We try to tell you who runs a company, how good are they at their job, what do they do, what are they about.
Well, some people will invest based on, say, that could be a turnoff for someone that the CEO did the switch, changed the DEI. Someone could go, hey, I don't want to invest with them because of that reason.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You
Gotcha.
can invest for any reason you want, right? Like your organization is incredibly impactful locally, right? Do you know which companies operate locally that are publicly traded? It's a very small number, but I know Pratt
in
and
West
Whitney,
Hartford,
right?
Oh,
like
in local,
in local,
yep,
the
okay.
kind of zone, Hartford, West Hartford,
Pratt Whitney, yep.
Like there are probably a couple
Raytheon
companies,
or
Raytheon,
is now
exactly,
Pratt
which
and
is
Whitney.
UTC.
Let me guess, Stanley and New Britain.
Stanley Black and Decker, sure, they're publicly traded. So there are a couple, right? And you can invest in those companies simply because they're local. You don't need any good, bad, deep analysis. If you're in the stock market,
but you want ROI, don't you?
You want a return.
Yeah.
But sometimes that return goes beyond, like, look, if you're going to invest in the stock market, the chances that you beat throwing darts at a dartboard is near zero, right? Because people have way more information than you do. You, as a normal person, this is actually part of the reason why we make a lot of our data free. We have a website, freeflowanalytics.com. It's a free, just put in your email address, you sign up, and you can see every board in the world and their active directors and how they perform on certain things. Just a couple of things. It's a lot of information, but we believe that you're at an information disadvantage. You have no idea.
No.
Right? Which means for you, picking a stock is like, if somebody comes in the door here and says like, oh, you should buy Coca-Cola right now, it's hot. You'd be like, all right, sure, I guess so. Give it to me. But that's like, it's not necessarily the best reason to buy the stock. We're trying to like lower that asymmetry, but you can buy a stock for any reason. There's no like rule that says you have to buy it for X, Y, or Z reason. So we're just giving people a different way to look at the stocks that they own.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Fun little game. So sports.
Yeah.
You got to start, sit, or cut. So you got to start environmental, social, or grievance. You got to sit one, and you got to cut one. Is there a ranking of importance?
You start governance.
Yep.
You cut social, and you have environment on the bench.
Okay. Any reasoning?
Because I can take care of everything with governance. So one thing that people don't know when you buy a stock, most stocks give you a vote. You're entitled to a vote. It's an alternative democracy, entirely different from, it's not entirely different, but it's outside of the federal democracy, right? You vote for president, you vote for Sherry Cantor, you vote for your elected officials. In your retirement fund, you can vote for who's on the board. It's your shareholder right. So one of the things that I can do with governance is I can say, I don't like the way this person is managing the environment at this company. I will vote against them. So it's like a sneaky way.
Can you campaign and tell your friends and
there's a way to
social
campaign.
Posts?
Oh yeah, there's a way to campaign.
Have you ever done so?
I mean, we've done it. We're not really. So we're in the business of sort of selling data and making that data available and doing the assessment. We're doing something that no one's really ever done before, which is Moneyball for directors. We are like what the early baseball, sabermetrics, the early baseball analytics revolution was about. We're trying to do that for directors, which means the case we make is that these people don't perform well or they do perform well. We don't make a case that you should or shouldn't vote them out. especially to like clients. Institutional asset managers and institutional investors don't want you to tell them what to do. They say they want to do it themselves. They mostly want you to tell them. But that means you can make the decision any way you want, like with your vote, just with the information. So I think I can cover everything with governance, with the vote. I can pull a lever in the alternative democracy, and I can say, I can file what's called an exempt solicitation. I can tell every investor in the world, this is why I'm voting this way. You should vote this way too. There's methods to do that. You could put out blog posts. You could do dumb podcasts like 9, like whatever. You can do all that stuff.
Not dumb, very funny,
Yeah.
entertaining, and financially informative. Come on.
All right, let's dial
Business
it back.
Pants.
Let's dial it back.
Where'd you think of that title? Business Pants.
We thought it was funny because it was like big boy pants, but like pull up your business pants and let's talk about like
just a picture of jeans.
It's just, we're ridiculous. Everything we do is like dry tongue-in-cheek irony.
Yeah, but it's unique, right? Can you compare yourself as anyone?
No, it's irreverent. That's what it is. My industry, they are convinced that they know. Everybody pretends like they know what they're doing, and their jobs are very, very important. But for the most part, no one really knows what they're doing.
And you can name like the directors. If I can name some companies, ready?
Probably.
I mean, I always quick to say, is Nike? Oh, you were mad at Nike.
Yeah. Well, Nike,
because they sued for being too white.
No, Nike just got sued by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which was the government commission put in place for the civil rights movement because of discrimination against Black people in this country.
Yep.
And now that Trump's in office, he appointed a woman who basically believes that white men have been discriminated against. And so they sued Nike for discrimination against white people, but also primarily white men. Because Nike had policies that said, we are going to try to level the playing field for all our employees. They sued them saying you're discriminating against white men.
Where does that, what's the status on that lawsuit?
That's the kind of that what we weren't angry at Nike so much as we were saying, Nike, you should absolutely fight this. And here's an easy way to fight it, because when we looked at the diversity of Nike's executive team and the diversity of the EEOC executive team, they were almost entirely white and almost entirely male, which means the joke was sort of like, Nike, if they're saying you're discriminating against white men, then you should say they're discriminating against white men also. Just countersue, because it's ludicrous. But at some level, it's all ludicrous. It's all political show.
And then Jennifer Gardner, the actress, has a...
Oh, yeah. Jessica Garner. Yeah. She's got a new IPO. They do like that mushy baby food in a pouch.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah, I don't know. I had 4 before I came. Yeah, I don't know. It's
so you said another one, IPO.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
IPO, initial public offering. It's just when a stock goes from being a private company to listing on a public exchange. And
just that first, obviously, initial move.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's the
IPO.
First, I mean, there's usually...
So IPO'd is past tense.
There are companies that never IPO. They just stay private forever. That's actually the majority of companies. Then there's companies that IPO, and after a long time, they can IPO after a short time. There's really no rules. IPO allows you to access capital in public markets. That's all it means. I can sell stock to everybody instead of just a couple of very wealthy, private investors.
What about a bro PO?
So, a bro PO.
Yeah,
you did hear the show. Yeah. Yeah. Damion coined that term.
Has that caught on?
Yeah. With my wife, I think I heard a neighbor say it once. No, it's a term he made up because when you track, IPOs are really hot, right? This year, SpaceX is going to IPO. So is OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT. There are a number of really big IPOs.
So they're currently not allowed to be invested in by the public.
Correct.
But they're going to be IPO'd. So then the public can invest.
And that's why it's like a big deal, because the public really likes Elon Musk for some reason, and ChatGPT for also some reason. Both are massive liars. I don't know why we really like to invest in big liars. But the fact is that they
So
are
the
gonna
bros do
they are gonna go public. Damion looks at all of the IPOs, all the upcoming IPOs, or the ones that have just happened, and what he says is not what is hot, what company is hot, but who is running it. Just like everything we do, and what we find increasingly, actually, it's gotten worse over the last 3 years. Is it used to be like all men, and then during the pandemic, people were like, there was more access to capital, there were more women involved, there were more women in the C-suite, and now it's back to being all men. So he calls them bro POs.
That's the
when
bro
there's
PO.
all male IPOs happening, it's his.
What about like a guy, the Barstool guy, who will come out, very popular guy, has a lot of money, says, "Oh, I'm going to invest in this." Next thing you know, people listen to this guy. He's called David Page.
Yeah,
Pod.
Yeah, I know.
When he
I know
does
who
the
he is. Yeah,
stocks, he's page views. Maybe that's when he's gambling, but then he does the pizza and then something he does. But is that a bro? Is that part of the bro PO thing? Is he?
No,
He's obviously not giving researched information, and people just following him because I thought that's what I thought. The
Portnoy,
bro.
that's his name.
I thought the bro thing. Yeah.
No, yeah, David Portnoy is part of a different ecosystem. He's one of the blowhards. There's like, you go on YouTube, you search for stock tip on YouTube, you'll get 1 trillion hits, and everyone's yelling into a camera being like, "You gotta buy this while it's hot," or "Here's my 3 reasons why this stock's gonna rebound," or whatever. And
Oh yeah, you remind me of the guy, the bald dude, who's the most famous guy that does that.
Oh yeah,
with the tie.
yeah, and he's got a really big podcast, and I don't listen to. Dave Ramsey, that's his name.
Yeah.
I hate that guy. He does a lot more like personal finance advice, which fine, whatever. But there's a whole cottage industry of blowhards, right? Like, personal finance advice can be very complicated, but it also can be save more than you spend, right?
That's helpful.
Don't spend more than you can. Buy on credit sparingly, pay off often, right? Like, you don't have
Did you hear that, listener? That's great advice.
It's really not that hard, right? But Dave Ramsey's turned it into an entire industry with 20 books and like a podcast, and it's an industry. So, Portnoy is part of that blowhard economy where you're going out and saying like, this crypto coin is going to do big
Yes, he
deal.
did that. He did that with crypto,
Exactly.
actually.
That's because
And he does that with gambling too, and people just like invest.
do it.
And he put out a loser. He put out men's hockey and Michigan over Duke, and it lost. So I want to think what guys were like, "Oh, I'm going to do that because Dave's doing it. I'm going to invest."
You can talk yourself into anything, man. Like, if I gave you a gamble right now, I gave you an over-under right now, you could probably talk yourself into both sides of the bet. You might have a really strong opinion, but I could probably convince you one way or the other if I was just persuasive. It's snake oil salespeople, right? Like,
Not cool.
You want real things in your life. Real things are usually hard work, and they're not as complicated as these people make it sound. Like, I don't know. In my opinion, you're going to invest in the stock market, get an index fund that has the absolute bare minimum amount of expense, like, because they'll charge you for the index fund, and just sit in it. Just sit in it until you retire, and don't think about it. Don't worry about it. In fact, Warren Buffett had a bet with a hedge fund manager, a 10-year bet where they said, Buffett said, "I bet anyone a lunch with me that if you invested in just the S&P 500, which is like 500 biggest stocks in the U.S., 90% of your assets in that index, and 10% in cash, you could outperform any other. No one's going to outperform me."
When you said S&P 500, is that you can put your money in all of them just like that? Or
So that's what the fund does. Yeah.
Oh,
So
just
you
disperses it.
You take a $500, $1,000, or whatever. You can get a Robinhood account in 20 minutes. You can be buying and selling stocks. There is a tradable asset that is all 500 stocks.
Okay.
And you put $500 and you say, like, I want to buy that asset, like SPY would be the ticker
Oh yeah.
for one of them.
I have Robinhood.
Yeah. So there you go.
but it's not doing well, and I haven't looked at it in a while. And
That's the best.
maybe I got to talk to you about that.
That's the best way to do it. Though.
And Nike's
Don't
one
look
of
at
them.
it a while. Don't look at it for a while. Anytime you individually stock pick,
So I have left over, so I pick some individuals, and I can put the rest in S&P.
My advice is always pick things that you love the company because you use the stuff, and don't worry about it then, or put the vast bulk of your money into just the S&P 500 or the Russell 1000 or some like basic index funds.
S&P 500.
They're called index funds. Just buy one of those, sit in it, forget about it.
Is it easy to access and get your money in and out of Robinhood? Do you use Robinhood?
I use Robinhood a little bit. I do most of my trades on Fidelity.
Is that when they're peanuts, right? Did they use the term peanuts or no?
No, I mean
that something else?
Robinhood did a lot of every time you buy something, they do fireworks and
It's very cheesy.
They tried to make you think like it was fun and gambling.
Yes. Okay.
Which is brilliant
Let
marketing
me see if I have Robinhood actually.
and horrible for. I mean, the only thing I own right now in Robinhood is Bitcoin because I think it's funny.
Yeah, do it. It's the Robinhood stocks. Okay, we'll talk more about that. I don't want to get all personal on my. Oh, back to business pants. Your boy Damion. So our motto: be a good friend.
Yeah.
Hold the door. Pick up trash. Give compliments. Be charitable. What makes Damion a good friend?
Oh, nothing. I don't know.
That's for you and Damion.
Damion, I'll send this to you. No, look, Damion.
How did it start? Where'd you meet him?
We met when we both worked at MSCI. We both.
What's that stand for?
It used to stand for something. Now it doesn't anymore. But it used to stand for Morgan Stanley Capital International. It was a part of Morgan Stanley.
Gotcha.
And then it flipped off to its own thing. All that company does is risk analytics for stocks and index creation. That's what it does. It's like, so we were doing, he was mostly governance and I was doing ESG broadly, risk analytics, using the data, whatever. And we met mostly because we were totally irreverent. Like we didn't take ourselves too seriously. We thought we saw a lot of comedy, and we would share funny things that companies would say, or quirky things. He likes to do things like, so there's something called the CEO pay ratio. That is the CEO of a company, say they make $1 million.
Oh yeah.
But the average worker at the company.
Starbucks is a hot topic, right?
Starbucks, the CEO pay ratio at Starbucks is I think 1,400 to 1, 1,417 to 1 or something like that. So it's basically the median worker at Starbucks made $17,000 last year. The CEO makes 1,400 times that in 1 year. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's
like
the
this.
CEO pay ratio. It's like a way of saying like how much more
Discrepancy.
Yeah. Well, how big is the CEO versus me? Damion, the quirky things that he likes to do is he likes to look at, one that he looked at was the relocation ratio. Because when a CEO is hired, the company will pay relocation services to move them from wherever they were to wherever the company is.
Yeah.
And he will say, did you know this CEO made 5 times the average worker's salary just
To move.
Right? Like
That just happened. You guys just mentioned that.
Yeah, he does stuff like that all the time. He always finds he likes to say, Brian Nickel, who's the CEO of Starbucks, at a 1,400 to 1 pay ratio means that Brian Nickel made as much as the average worker by 10 a.m. on the first day of the year, right? Like that's the way he thinks. He just thinks a little bit
very,
backwards,
catchy.
a little catchy, so we bonded over stuff like that. So
it's like Juan Soto gets like $100,000 in a bat or something.
Yes,
There's some math
exactly.
there.
There's a version of that, right? And we get outraged that Juan Soto gets like 1,000 per at bat because you're like, what am I getting? I'm only getting like, a 260 average, right?
Yeah,
what am I really getting? But no one pays attention to the fact that what do you get for Brian Nickel, who made not $86 million his first year, right?
86 mil a year?
Yeah, well, that's not per year. That's like his first year with his bonus, and
Gotcha.
and then the secret way it works. is when they bonus you, if you're a CEO and you get $1 million, they will give you, $100,000 in cash, and they'll give you $900,000 in stock. And they'll say to you, if you perform at a certain level, you get all that. If you last 3 years, perform at a certain level, you get that stock. First of all, they never don't perform at the level. You get all of the stock, even if you're the worst company, right? Like, so not a problem. And number two is, even if you don't last the 3 years, you always get the money anyway.
Jeez.
And number three is, if the stock just does whatever the market does, no better than the market. Basically, if you add nothing to the company and the stock
You're still getting paid.
That 900,000 that you got is not 900,000, because it's 900,000 plus the increase in the stock price. So when you take Elon Musk just got a monster pay package, $1 trillion extra pay package. The stock he had, and when I say extra, he had stock. If he hit all of the performance metrics that they laid out, he would have been worth $1.6 trillion. Then the board and the investors said, well, to hit all those numbers, we're going to give you an extra $1 trillion worth of stock on top of that. I mean, we are talking about numbers that are
like out of this world ridiculous.
They're the level of absurdity, and people don't really know, and they don't pay attention. And they say, well, he's worth it if he can, go to Mars or something like that. And it's like, no human is worth it.
Wow.
No one's worth it. I mean, friends of Feeney, imagine if Elon Musk gave 1%.
Exactly.
Oh, Wolcott's calling.
Oh, maybe there's no school or delay.
Yeah, it's probably a 2-hour delay.
Or it's, oh man.
You live 2 minutes from the school. You're like,
I expected a delay today.
I thought it would be a delay today too.
And we might not have school tomorrow because it's going to snow again, 1 to 3 inches during bus time.
I know. That'll be a 2-hour delay.
On a Wednesday, though, we're already getting out early. So I'm going to get the kids. They'll go to lunch. They come back. They go home. It's going to be a great day.
They basically are there long enough to get the diseases the other kids have and then come home.
A couple sneezes. Oh, that's great. Speaking of, Wolcott. I was going to say, girl dad, Wolcott dad. My last podcast was at Wolcott School with Christina Connors. She went to Wolcott School. Her teacher, Mrs. Rivetti, was the music teacher. When Christina was in 4th grade, Miss Rivetti goes, hey, you have a beautiful voice. You should take extra classes. Well, Christina went on to be like a famous singer, inspired by Rivetti. I had him in my classroom, so go back and check out episode 160. Christina Connors, good stuff. So we try to inspire students to do good things. So, if the kid likes art, lead them in the art direction. Math, science, something, find their path. So that's really cool. I'm a girl dad.
Yeah, man.
Girl dad. Our last 2 podcast guests, 161, Rob, girl dad. 162, Marcus, girl dad. Owner of Maximum Beverage, Matt Whitney, girl dad. So
there's a lot of us out there.
They're out there. How about where'd you just go with the girls? North Pole?
Yeah. Pick a pole. We went to Alaska.
Damion, that was funny. Yeah. North Pole. Ha.
We were in Alaska. It turns out it's cheaper to fly to Alaska if you have we had friends we could stay with. It was cheaper to fly to Alaska with all of our gear, like a bunch of mows, for 3 days than it was to go to Okemo for 3 days.
Jeez.
With 5 people.
I wonder if I have friends. Seth, do I have friends to make this happen or what? Episode 7, Seth Wickersham.
Yeah, that's right. He
wrote a book on Tom Brady, wrote a book on quarterbacks. He's making the rounds now. He's killing it.
I know.
Did you read the book?
I read both books. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he get you a signed copy?
No, I had to beg him.
Good guy. Seth, no, wonderful. He's very thoughtful and kind. I'm trying to get him to wear like a Feeney pin or something when he's on tour, or when they do the ESPN interviews and, you got the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Can I get the magnet in the back? Come on, Seth, am I asking too much? He had the sign in his yard for a while. Remember that?
Yeah. I know his yard's like 3 houses down. Yeah.
Good dude. Also a neighbor, Susan. Do you know Susan and Jason?
Yeah,
Susan
the Ryans, yeah.
Yep. She was episode 139.
Oh, really? Susan was on too.
Coach, author, great. Over 1,000 views.
They're the people on my. We are the least successful people on my street. Yeah, by like I don't know how that worked out, but that's how it worked out.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Good neighborhood, good community. You know. Oh yeah, back to your co-host. What are 3 keys? So, I left out one sponsor, New England Door and Security. Watch what I'm going to do here. With New England Door and Security, what are 3 keys that make you a great co-host?
Wow. I've never had a read-in like that.
Shout out to Eric and Yuri.
Damion's he's the host, and I'm a guy that shows up. I'm a talking head. I'll give you 3 keys to being a decent talking head. Data, have some data at your fingertips.
Data.
Don't be afraid to screw up, because the minute you suck, right? Like as soon as you turn on a microphone, a camera, I spent my life in front of microphones. I was a musician before I did anything. If you're afraid, you come off as afraid. And I guess the last one would be an active listener, which I'm not very good at actually, but I wish I was.
That's very cool. I say that all the time when I ask the 3 keys. Listening is always
It's always one of them, yeah.
No matter your occupation, teacher, real estate agent.
You tell the kids in class?
That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should do twice as much listening as you do talking.
Yeah. Does it work?
Does it work?
Yeah.
Great question. Mr. Feeney. You know, I hear Mr. Feeney about 250 times a day.
That seems like an undercount.
Right?
Yeah.
Middle school teachers hear it about 100 times. High school teachers about 50 times. Elementary school, 250 to 300 times a day.
When are you going to go to start teaching at Sedgwick?
My next move is going to be vice principal somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm in 22 years, 9 years at Kingsbury School, where I went to school as a kid in Waterbury, Connecticut. 13 years at Wolcott, where my daughters went. Dream come true when my girls were there. It was great. But now they're seniors. Crazy.
Seniors in high school?
Yeah. Off to school.
My oldest is 15. So I see it coming with my oldest.
It's coming. Yeah, education was great. You went to Brown.
I did. Yeah.
I went to Brown.
You did?
For a basketball game once.
Yeah. I went to all the football games while I was there. We stunk.
I went to Yale versus Brown. Riley Fox, my dude. Brown is so funny. Oh, the football team was in the north bleachers. The football team's riling up and heckling a Yale player. And a kid half court at halftime threw the ball, made it in. Mm-hmm. The whole crowd came in and rushed the court like he won the championship. And the refs were like, what are you guys doing? Get off the court. This is a safety violation. It was so funny. But Brown, beautiful campus.
Yeah.
Cool school.
Yeah. I mean, I was there 25 years ago now. So,
and you got
changed a lot.
Computers and music.
Yeah, which is basically their way of, it was music production. I just lived in a studio, I was in a band, produced music, made weird music, experimental music. You know, it was early in digital music, and we were doing stuff like that.
Like Kanye? Are you like Kanye or no?
I mean, I did before he went full Nazi. I mean,
oh, that's right. I was going to ask for the other guy, but I knew that I was going to. Don't want to bring him up. Who's what's the band that was at Wesleyan?
A band at Wesleyan
before. I don't know. I always think about that. But can you play an instrument?
I can't. Am I able to, or am I good at?
Yeah.
I am able to play like guitar
player. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I was the lead singer. And
what was the name of the band?
The last one, and when I just graduated college, moved to New York City, and we played all over the city. We played CBGB's before it closed. The Vertical Gin Line.
Vertical Gin Line.
Which was a misquote of from the Bonfire of the Vanities that the guitarist thought was funny. I don't know why, but that's what the name was.
Very cool, very cool. We do another game. You ready for another game?
Yeah, I love games.
It's called First, Last, Best, Worst.
First, Last, Best, Worst. Is it sponsored?
Oh, is it sponsored? We'll say Luna Pizza sponsored it. We're here at Luna Pizza. Thank you, Luna Pizza, for sponsoring.
First, we're going to get our drinks. Last, we're going to get our napkins. Best is going to be the food. Worst is going to be leaving.
There you go. Well, no, mostly it's going to be podcasts.
Okay.
So your first podcast, your last podcast, most recent, your best one, and your worst one.
First one, I don't even remember the first one. It was probably a nightmare. We came out hard. We just left MSCI, so we came out hard and talked about deep industry stuff. We had a quick following though, because I launched the podcast at MSCI. So all the people at MSCI and the people who listen to that podcast heard that. The last one was last Thursday. We're actually behind. We're usually twice a week, and then we have a second show we do once a week. But we talked a lot about Musk and Epstein and, accountability or lack of accountability in the business world for Epstein. Talked about AI stuff. Best. So there was a run a long time ago we did where we dove into Boeing. This is right after the planes fell out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And we found all these. It actually launched the company more than anything, the data part of our company, because so what we did is I looked at the board of directors of Boeing because we couldn't figure out why the CEO hadn't been fired. 2 planes fall out of the sky, 400 people, 350 people die, and the planes are grounded worldwide, and the CEO isn't fired. And we're trying to figure out why. So we did a deep dive. The way accountability works at a public company is the CEO's boss is the board's boss is the investor.
Yep. Okay.
So you get to choose the board. The board then is responsible for removing the CEO, hiring new CEOs. We couldn't figure out why he still had a job. This is Dennis Muhlenberg. So we did a deep dive on the board. We looked 30 years into the board's past, and we found that 2/3 of the board that existed when the planes fell out of the sky were clients, either directly or indirectly, of one person on the board's lobbying firm. So there was a guy on the board. He owned a lobbying firm. He's an ex-Reagan administration guy. And they almost all used his lobbying firm. So we started asking, well, is the CEO even in charge? Is it that guy who's in charge? Because he brought all his friends to the board and they make the decisions. So, and that's what launched our analytics. But we ended up we did a couple of episodes where we did that, did this deep dive. And we got a call from a whistleblower who said, you're on the right track. It was one of those tinfoily conspiracy theory.
Nice.
Guys. But
did you have him on the air?
No. It's a little too volatile to do that. And he basically said, keep going. You're absolutely right. You've totally nailed it.
Did the guy end up getting fired?
He had been fired, which is one of the things that we were maybe
you think
he's
you caused that?
Or
No, the whistle. No, that CEO, did he get fired?
Oh, he ended up getting fired. Yeah. I mean, they never get fired. They step down.
And
right?
take their package.
Yeah,
and
they
all
get
their
their
stocks.
package. They get all their stuff. They never get fired for real, for the most part.
Is he rehired somewhere else?
No, he was on the board of a private startup that was doing AI and farm equipment kind of thing. That was a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah, remember that. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting stuff. You
So
looked into that.
I mean, we've had good shows since then, but that one was a while ago, and that one sticks out because somebody actually we got a whistleblower call.
Yeah.
Worst, I don't know. Worst is average. We've had some. We had worst Vivek Ramaswamy, who ran for president as a Republican.
Yep.
We had him on the show. We had him on the show before he announced he was running for president, and he was going on every podcast he could find. So it wasn't like he listened to our show and wanted to come on. He was going on anyone who invited. You just go on their podcast.
I missed the boat on that.
Yeah, you missed him. I know. It's a sad day when you miss out on what Vivek has to say. But he was crusading against diversity, equity, and inclusion. He was crusading against, at the time it was critical race theory, stuff like that. And we had him on the show, and Damion, we played a quiz game with him where you rate a headline from worst to best, like give it a 0 to 10. Is it a good headline? Is it a bad headline? And Damion picked headlines specifically to troll him. I picked a headline that was, 5% of Fortune 500 company CEOs are women. And Damion was like, is that a good headline or a bad headline? And Vivek was like, that's irrelevant. Like it's I don't know why we talked about that at all. And then we got into it where we were saying, well, on average, women are actually more educated than men. Women have all the same experiences. Wouldn't you expect executives, CEOs, to be roughly the proportion?
Close to 50%,
yeah,
at least.
I mean, like some proportion of what exists in the talent pool. And he ended up saying, and then we got down the path of like systemic bias and all like educational gaps and all these things. And he ended up sort of saying out loud, how did he phrase it? He was like, well, there was systemic bias against the way these people were taught. And we said on the show, like, that is critical race theory, right? Like you just described, critical race theory was like the systemic bias and the gaps that Black people and diverse people face in equality and understanding that bias from a historical perspective. And he quit the show. He said, sorry guys, I gotta go. This is, this has been great, but yeah, I'm really busy now and I gotta get out. So he hung up. Nice. Damion was very triggered by it. That might have been the worst, and not the worst because it was like a bad show, but worse because it was like a train wreck of a show.
Who else did you have on? Like famous names?
No one famous. I mean, people that we had a senator from Illinois on. We've had, a bunch of people in our space, governance experts who would be famous to people who know governance. So
yeah, you gave a Feeney Talks with Friends shout out one episode.
We did, yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. We're gonna do it again now. Like, we'll have to have you come on and play a quiz.
Ooh, I would love that. Let's see, where were we? I think March 12th, 2020.
There it is. The heyday.
Let's go.
The COVID heyday.
Business pen. Oh, and then Seth. I mentioned Seth. Yeah, let's have me back on. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll get you on.
We can talk. I'll ask you, what's a PLC? What's an SST?
SST, Social Security Transportation.
What's an IEP?
Oh, that one is like extra help program.
Yep. SBEC.
That's the test. That's
very good. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what it stands for. Fuck do I know?
Smarter Balance Assessment Consortium. An individual education program is for like on your way.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Wow, that was good. Good. Oh, some upcoming events. Oh, Girl Dad. I was supposed to give you these slap bracelets for your girls.
Oh.
We just had 90s night at the Wolfpack game.
But in the 90s, they made these things illegal because they were like cutting people.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thanks
Remember
for poo-pooing on my whole event.
No,
those 80s or 90s?
I think they fixed them since
No,
then.
they used to be metal, actually. You're right.
Yeah, right. Now it's like it's a whole different thing. They'll love these. Dylan, my youngest, is going to show up in school tomorrow.
Yes. Did she give you the sticker?
She did, yeah.
Okay, cool. I gave her the sticker. I was like, your dad's coming on. Write me some questions.
Yeah.
She's like, ask him about being a podcast host. I'm like, I already know that. Thanks. Give me some inside
That's all
source.
they know. They don't know what I do. They have no idea. It's fine.
How about New Park Brewery? You ever go to New Park Brewery?
We have, yeah. I'm not a drinker, but we go down and they got
good
live
pizza.
events and
and
good, and they got all the food trucks outside sometimes, and it's a good deal.
No, great guy. I want to thank Tom. Great. Just saw him the other day. Made a great donation. We hosted the 150th podcast there. We had a band at the end. It was great. Shout out. Do you know who Frank the Tank is?
I know Frank the Tank from
Old School.
Old School, yeah.
This is Frank the Tank from Barstool. He lost 300 pounds. He podcast guest 103. It was cool to have him on.
Wow, your recall of podcast numbers.
Let's go. Yeah. Sherry Cantor, you mentioned her. She was like 70. I'm making that one up. But.
Yeah, but still, you sound like the
Throw it out there.
the Rain Man of podcast numbers. You're whipping it out.
35 she was. Darn. Way off.
We've done, when we launched, we were doing daily.
Jeez.
So our first 2 years were daily, and then we moved to twice a week. We have 1,000 easy. I can't remember I can't remember Thursdays.
They have cool titles.
Yeah,
some things that we talked about IPO, BroPO, IPO'd.
Yeah.
Oh, COO.
Chief Operational Officer.
I knew that one. CFO.
Officer, Finance Officer.
DEI we mentioned.
Yeah.
VC.
Venture Capital.
AI.
Yeah.
ESG.
Yeah.
Alaska we talked about.
Yeah.
Ring doorbell. Oh, that's kind of crazy. That Super Bowl ad turned that.
Yeah. How did you feel about the ad?
I thought it was creepy. I have Ring doorbell. You don't have a Ring doorbell?
I have the Google, the Nest.
Oh. Yeah, what was that? So the guy, I can type in and look through everyone's Ring doorbell for my dog?
I'm not totally sure whether it's like Ring is watching and they'll tell you where the dog is, or you can see the Ring network or what that is. But they pulled it. They killed the partnership with they fake pulled it. They had a partnership with another company that they were doing this with, and they pulled that partnership. And then the CEO of Ring has been out,
Who's that?
Oh God, that guy's name is going to escape me.
Who's on their board?
Well, Bezos is on their board, and Andy Jassy, and there are a couple like multi-boarders, but it's Bezos likes to keep.
So Amazon's
his
with Ring? Ring's with Amazon?
Yeah, they own them. So another thing that people don't know is when you go, for instance, you go to a liquor store, you want some beer, you're looking at the wall of beer, and you're like, oh man, I really feel like some light IPA. I'm going to get this, and it looks like a craft beer. They're almost all owned by two companies.
Anheuser-Busch and who?
ABM, InBev, and Molson Coors, right?
Okay.
Like, so there's a Modelo, and like there's a couple other companies but you go to like Target and you buy like, like toilet paper. Almost every brand is one of three
Scott's,
companies,
Charmin,
right?
all fall under one company.
A lot of these things actually all fall in the
Is that a
umbrella
monopoly or no?
It's not. They do brand differentiation, and you could argue that it is a monopoly, but there's not a barrier to entry. So to argue a monopoly, you need a barrier to entry to get in the market. Anybody can make toilet paper if they really wanted to.
And what about like, this is crazy, maybe off topic, but Kirkland? How does Kirkland, they were like, oh, that's Tito's, but it says Kirkland on it. Or that's Titleist Club, but it says Kirkland on it. How does Kirkland get away with that?
Costco's brand is Kirkland, and Costco actually went to sources, and so you can't really, unless you patented the formula for something, you can't really like claim, you have the only formula for toilet paper. So they can go out and they can find the same source, and they can go to the source and say, we'll pay you, undercut it, or like buy it a different way, and they can put out the same products. They're generic products. So, but Kirkland, to their credit, is like pretty good. Like 80% is good.
Yeah, they're more quantity, right? They'll just get you to buy more because it's cheaper.
You can get, like, you go get olive oil, Philip Berrio at Stop and Shop, right? It'll cost you $25 for like one thing. You spend $25, you get something, 50% larger at Costco, and it's Kirkland brand. And both of them are like watered down olive oil. It's not like single source olive oil.
Who's the CEO of Costco?
The CEO of Costco is Ron Vatris, something like that.
What about, Whole Foods and Aldi's? What's with that connection? They say the same foods at Aldi's that you can get at Whole Foods, but it's a lot cheaper. Maybe a different label as well, similar to the Kirkland deal.
They're selling you on just a dream. They're selling you a brand. They're not selling you anything. The food's not better.
And that's also Amazon, right?
Also Amazon. Yeah, Amazon owns Whole Foods.
Conspiracy, confirm or deny. The movie Melania Trump movie
Yeah.
was
Also Amazon.
yes, was a way to get money for Bezos just to pay, right?
So it was the
Did you talk about this yet or no?
We did a little bit, but it was just so blatant graft, right? Like,
Because the movie's not doing well.
it was
Well, depending on who you ask.
the most expensive documentary ever made,
Yeah.
and it had nothing in it.
Did you see it?
I mean, I watched enough clips that I feel like I don't need. I read reviews, the conservative reviews, and I read the liberal reviews. And the fact is, it just sounds like another dumb, boring documentary. It doesn't sound like there's anything new. And Melania didn't. I mean, she's not going to say anything as first lady. She's not going to be like, "My marriage sucks, and I wish I could go back to living in New York and walking on runway." You're not going to say that. So, yeah. And then to double troll you, they hired the director who was like implicated in a number of Me Too issues. Brett Ratner, I think is.
Not Harvey Weinstein?
I mean, might as well be.
Very similar?
Like, it was gross stuff. It was gross stuff from many sources, right? And he hadn't gotten that. This was his first gig. We're real, big gig since the Me Too movement. And of course, it was hired by Amazon to direct the Melania documentary. He'd never done a documentary.
I was going to say, that's my next question.
It's like, it's all bananas.
Jeez.
Yeah, you want conspiracies.
Give me one. Let's give one to the friends.
You don't need to make them up. That's the thing. Like, the conspiracies come in small and large versions. We, in a show last 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how this one company, Franklin Resources, which they're a finance company, on their board, it's owned by like members of a family. They might have used to be Franklin. They're not anymore. But they have a list of skills of every board member. Now imagine like you're looking at like a left-handed hitter, right-handed hitter, great, infield flies, whatever. Like they write that kind of stuff down. Like, I have this skill in international marketing. I have this skill in, whatever. One of the skills that every board wants to talk about is AI now. So you want a small conspiracy, read the skills of the directors. When the guy who's like the nephew of the owner, who's never worked outside of finance and has worked at this company for 20 years, is the guy on the board with the AI skill. I mean, that's simply so they can put in a chart, 20% of our board has AI as a skill, and investors don't get upset. There's small conspiracies.
And how do you have skill in AI? You just type in what you want to search? Like, what are we doing here?
You just ask Gemini something, and then you have the skill. That's the thing. There's no rules.
Like skill, punctual, good at Microsoft Word, AI.
That's the thing. Like the funny thing about it to me is we focus a lot on Melania's documentary, which is pure graft and naked, like bribery, effectively. But we don't focus on the small little, like the little white conspiracies, or the tiny
boards.
ones. Not even just boards, but little tiny things that just don't quite add up. Like, people know that like when you go and you buy a pound of pasta, half the boxes are no longer a pound. They're like 12 ounces. And you know that, but those are the small conspiracies, right? Like, make it look the same, make the box the same size, just change the weight number at the bottom. On a board, yeah, I've been on the board for 20 years. I've never done anything except finance, but we need an AI skill. Just write it down there somewhere. We can fudge that, right? Like the little fudges, when you add all those up, oftentimes they're worse than any Melania documentary.
Oh boy. All right, we'll look into that. That was awesome. Getting a lot. I'm learning a lot. This is great. Great podcast. We're here with Matt Moscardi. You got some upcoming events?
I'm going to be at a couple of conferences that if you are a governance person, you would know what they are. But otherwise, just doing shows and pumping out data. We're in a data crunch right now. It's high season for us, so crunching numbers.
Do you guys want to sponsor our parade T-shirt? You want to get your logo on the back of our parade T-shirt?
Well, how much is the sponsorship?
$150.
I'll sponsor that.
Let's go. All right, cool. We got some upcoming events. This is a Lions Club, but I was the ambassador of Vision, so I'm very proud and love these guys. April 25th, great pancakes. Jerry and Barry make the best pancakes. So it's at 8 to 12, right down the street from your house, right by the Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
Check it out. April 25th. Do you golf? September 12th. Come hack it up. Foursome. Come on, it's fun.
Let's say that I have golfed.
You're in. He's in. July 11th, Hartford Athletic. Johnny's Jog, March 22nd. Our golf event. Oh, we're doing a great Oris watch. Oris.
Like Horus? Here's a who?
Oris. Oris.
I got it. Okay.
Swedish company.
All right.
They're like a $3,000 watch down at Lux Bond and Green.
Yeah.
$25 a ticket to get into the raffle. Is that something you could you'd be interested in?
I
No?
got to watch.
Okay, yeah, it tells time. All right, got you.
I don't even want it to tell time.
That's going to be on June 18th. We're doing a whole event down there. Come by. Cool stuff. So you're going to sponsor.
Yeah, I'll sponsor.
It's pretty cold out. Do you want to buy a winter hat? $20. Think about that. I'm 3 for 3 asking on the podcast.
I'm just waiting for you to open up a fucking trench coat and pull shit out the side like you want. I got some beans over here. I got a gum.
Call me Feeney Gets. Whatever you need, Feeney Gets. I want to thank People's Bank. I want to thank St. Tim's and St. Thomas. They made a donation. People's Bank made a donation. We usually shoot for an hour. We usually shoot for 50 minutes with Feeney. We're over an hour. We got into conspiracies. We talked some.
You could cut it down. Cut me down to 20 minutes. That's
ESG.
about right.
I love it. No, it was great talking with you. Check it out. Business Pants, free float. Any closing remarks?
No, man. Just good luck and stay frosty out there.
On 3, we'll say, be a good friend. You, come say what up to the camera. This is my guy right here, Aiden Fox in the building.
What's up? How's you?
Pace. Riley Fox, episode 93.
Goes to watch.
What up, Riley Fox?
Look at that.
How's the foot?
I'm doing better walking.
Great to see you. When you coming on the pod?
He's Aiden Fox coming soon.
Good to see you.
We'll say, be a good friend on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Be a good friend.
At the friends of Feeney.